This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, hey. Hi, Chris. Hey,
Hi,
Patricia. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi guys.
Perfect. Hey, hello. How are you guys?
Great, and you?
Good, thank you. Let me
Yeah,
kick
not too
this
bad.
out.
End of the week for me.
Oh yeah, your weekend starts tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Awesome, man. Okay, folks. So we can maybe wait a minute or two to see if anyone else is gonna show up. So I got a checklist here, like some things I would like to share, mention. And also we will probably from tomorrow be adding stuff to the. Hey, Leslie.
Hi, Stefan. Sorry I'm late.
No worries.
Couldn't
You're
get
right on
someone to
time.
stop talking.
No, you're on time. All good.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will be adding from tomorrow to the classroom, to the Lead Magnet Academy, the actual course, step by step, how to create what I call a winning lead magnet. And so I can share with you a checklist today. I would also like to show you, some of you might know, but how basically we have done it. This really epiphany I had recently where I realized that I always use lead magnets to generate leads, but also to pre-sell them, sell them, convert them, and so on, more or less. Like, so it's been really powerful. It's as you can imagine, totally different dynamic getting leads with a lead magnet, and also when they're consuming your stuff, right? When it comes to goodwill you're providing, and that's the best part about lead magnets. We all feel like, okay, I assume we all do. If not, you can correct me. But like, you want to build an audience, right? And have a warm audience of people. Makes life easier, right? And long term, obviously, much better. Harder thing to do. It's easier short term chasing, just dropping CTAs, pitching, and trying to like make the next sale. So the trick with lead magnets is really that you're building goodwill, you're providing value, you are building an audience, but at the same time you are selling as well, right? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. Let's correct it. Here it goes. I can't hear you, Patricia. You're muted. I saw you.
Oh, sorry. That I say that happens on WhatsApp too when you do your thumbs up. Like
It's not WhatsApp. It's actually Apple thing. They added these features.
yeah.
Yeah, it works on any. It doesn't matter if it's FaceTime or Zoom or whatever it is. Yeah, they have like like different funny things you can do. So just I don't know which reactions. What do I do? This one I know, thumb up, but the others I don't know how I activate. Like they just start popping out. Now it doesn't want to do it. It does. So yeah, it's really most effective way, right? So instead of pitching the offer directly, whatever the offer is, it can be low ticket, it could be, especially if it's mid ticket, not to mention if it's high ticket, obviously, it's much harder to build that trust and to provide goodwill if we don't have a really good lead magnet, right? So let me share my whiteboard for a second. So basically, what everyone's trying to do is to build trust, right? And there are so many different ways we can do it, but they all can be summed up as lead magnets, like all. Like, can you tell me, think of some acquisition methods, ways of building trust online, like anything, whatever comes to mind? Maybe you've been through some and purchased stuff, or like, what do people do? Like literally anything. I don't mean just lead magnets, literally anything. What do people do to build trust? Like, what are different ways of,
Live videos.
okay, lives? Shut, whatever. Hey, Dita.
Hi.
Like
Content.
your community, having your Facebook group.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
let's say community. So community, be it Facebook or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
After
one way.
post.
Okay, invite them to the, sorry, what?
Content post.
Content. Okay. So written posts, stories, reels, all right, content in general.
Nurturing in the DMs.
Okay. DMs. Any other?
This is other than lead magnets, giveaways.
No, you can say lead magnets as well.
Okay.
It's fine. Like anything, literally anything you can use to build trust.
Well, I think it's when people offer help and support and they don't want anything in return.
Okay. So like in DMs or
DMs or inviting to trainings. You know, all the stuff that you used to put out that I would dive in on. Or
okay,
you
so
still put
let's
it
say
out, actually.
okay, so let's say video training, let's say call, right? Can be literally just a strategy call, can be a sales call, whatever it is. The goal is right to build that trust anyhow, whatever it is, right? Any other?
Yeah, free stuff like ebooks also.
Okay, so ebooks could be whatever, PDF, doc, and so on. So like written like that. Events or pre-recorded, like masterclass, workshop,
Webinars.
webinar, 5-day challenges. I mean, any challenge, but let's say 5-day challenges, right?
Oh, I hate challenges.
Like the basic idea is to build out of this here. I love challenges. I hate webinars. So never had a bad experience on a challenge, but had lots of bad experiences on webinars. So these are ways to build trust, right? Now, on average, like the stat is, this can vary depending on the price. Price always determines how long is the sales cycle, like how much information they need, how many touch points, etc., and so on, right? If we are buying let's say a 5-day challenge that's $7, it's much easier to decide than if I'm thinking of purchasing a house, right? So the price will determine how long is the sales cycle. But on average, like according to the stats, these are Google stats, by the way, for a purchase to happen online, usually it takes 7 hours of content, 11 or more touch points, and communication across 4 different channels. So this is according to Google. Why are you laughing, Patricia?
Huh? Because that can be kind of overwhelming to some people. Like I know that it can be done like through different kind of content on Facebook, but like that's a lot.
You mean overwhelming to tell someone that they need to do this? Or
No. I mean to go through the entire process, but it's true because I have had clients that have been following me for a while, and
okay,
yes, it took them that amount of time more or less to
Okay.
finally buy.
Okay. Sup, man? Yeah. So 7 hours, 11 touch points, 4 different channels. Now, when you look at these things on the side, right, that we wrote out here, like they all take different, it's a different timeline, right? They all take different amount of time to actually build that much trust, have those many touch points, etc., right? So if it's just content, as Chris said, so let's say content, imagine if it's, let's say, stories or slash reels, right? Some people promote the 7-second reel stuff, whatever, right? So on. Let's say it's 30 seconds. How many 30-second reels they need to watch, right? To consume, I don't know how many hours of content. Do you see what I mean? Like a lot, right? I mean, if we would
Yeah.
calculate that, it would be like, I don't know, 160 days they would need to consume your reels to get to, 7 hours of content or whatever it takes. On the other hand, let's say it's a 5-day challenge. Like, how many days does it take to get to, let's say, 5 hours of content? To get them to consume 5 hours of content? If it's a 5-day challenge, how many days it would take for them to consume 5 hours of content?
Around 3-4 days, depending how
Wow.
long each session is, or the whole 5 days, no?
Exactly, it's a trick question. You have 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Because if you do 1 hour, let's say each day, after 5 days, so here it would take them, let's say, 150 plus days. Here it would take them 5 days, right? So this
So
is
you only
the
need 2 more.
this is the idea behind the challenge. That this is why people do challenges, right?
Okay.
Like, you will spend 1 hour every single day consuming that content, and it can be recorded, obviously it can be live, right? And then when it comes to different channels of communication, well, you probably saw somewhere on social media, be it organic post or an ad for the challenge. You click on it, you go and you watch you see the sales page, obviously, go through that. There's probably a video VSL on a sales page that you're going to consume. You see what you're getting, you sign up. The moment you sign up, you will get an email, right? Welcomes. It triggers their welcome sequence, right? So you will be getting that. You will also be getting emails to prepare you for the challenge, maybe a workbook or something like for each day, right? Announcement, reminder, Zoom link, etc. if it's live. Or reminder to go back, log in to continue watching, congratulating you on finishing the day. Then you will get also emails like recap after the day is over and so on. So that's a lot of touch point. Maybe you get invited to a private community. When I would do a challenge, obviously we will send an emails. We would also invite you to the private community. So that's another one. You would join the private group, right? Let me see. Mio said something here. Challenges are great for cold audience, problem-aware audiences. Why, gracias, senor. That's getting a bit of ahead. Not diving into that yet. Especially, for example, when he says that live events. Like, for example, I remember hearing Stephen Larson a long time ago saying that live events are the best to introduce yourself to new audience. But before we get into any of that, like, you see the difference. I'm just trying to show you the difference. So now imagine this, for example, I have someone come see a piece of content on mine. Mio has a very same style approach, right? Same method. Like, they see content, then they join the group. I mostly found to the group. So they join the group. Once they join the group, they need to answer certain questions, right? So they kind of like also qualify themselves. They give me email. From there, they will get an email. And also, obviously, they get welcome into the group. Now, that opens also doors for a DM based on these questions here and so on, right? And they will receive, apart from the welcome, they will also receive via email access to the whatever the training is, which is in this case the lead magnet, right? And so let's just say like this, lead magnet. And so now, for example, I have a lead magnet that's 3 hours long. Now, look at this difference, right? Like the moment they consume the first piece of content, so this would be touch point 1, touch point 2 would be here, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then obviously I can reach out, follow up, or they will comment anyhow in the group, etc. But they might comment while they're watching the training. But now they're watching 3-hour training, right? So what this lead magnet does when it comes to the trust building, obviously also providing goodwill, is collapses the time. So instead of them going and consuming, I don't know how many posts, right? Or they go like imagine how many days it would take them to consume, to spend, let's say 3 hours on my post. Like how many pieces of content? If on average maybe it takes 30 seconds, 1 minute to read a post, if even that much, probably not for most, right? Do you see what I mean? So you are collapsing the time while providing much more value. Like they just read a piece of content, they're not going to get the values they're going to get in this 3-hour long training, right? Now, I'm not saying it has to be 3 hours, obviously, especially if you're just starting to, make your own lead magnets and so on. My first lead magnets were all like Google Doc, PDF, same as for me. But the point is, you strategically provide value, right? Build goodwill and collapse the time. You're not going to wait for them to come back to your, post, next post, and so on. And also, you don't have to do so much in DMs, right? I mean, I've been there where in the beginning, of course, I would have to spend a lot of time in DMs educating them on whatever the vehicle offer I was promoting, what qualifying them and all that. So this really skipping the whole build rapport, warm them up, pre-sell, literally skipping all of that when it comes to content DMs and doing it with this almost automated process, right? Does that make sense? Do you have any questions? It'd be great if you can let me know whatever comes to your mind when it comes to lead magnets, because we might not cover it. But if you ask, maybe we have a Wen Lembo. Is that in Chinese? WN? So yeah, whatever questions you might have you ever tried to make a lead magnet or made one?
Only once, a PDF,
Okay.
and it was a flop.
Why do you say flop?
Nobody asked for it.
Oh, okay. And how did you offer it?
I promoted it on my profile.
Okay. Well, there's quite a few things there, so we'll cover that. Do you, based on that experience, obviously, what questions you would have for creating the next one?
Honestly, I hadn't even thought about creating another one.
Okay.
But certainly PDFs are everywhere. Everybody's providing PDFs. I don't think, and actually when I have asked for a PDF, when someone has offered one, I'm often disappointed because of the content.
Okay.
It's very minimal. It's everything I could have found out from other places if I had actually thought about it.
It has to be good, yeah. If it sucks, then it's not gonna do anything. I agree.
No. So, for me, a lead magnet, I suppose, not so much if I was going to do one for myself, because that's why I'm here, to learn how to do one. But if I was going to buy into a lead magnet now, I think it would be maybe not a challenge, because challenges are very challenging in their own way. And but certainly a webinar or something like that.
Okay. But it really depends what problem it solves, depends on the name, and there are many things that will make someone, in that case, like you, say, yes, I want that. Same way for the one you did, you know. That will determine how many people, obviously content will determine what you deliver, what you said that it was basically fluff or too short or too simple what you got, right? Like that will determine what's inside, will determine how many people will convert. Not just convert, but follow you further, you know, reach out again, want to know more, and so on. Because not everyone obviously will convert with the first lead magnet, right? Some people will. But the way you position it, what problem you're solving, what outcome it's promising, the naming, that will determine how many people will actually say yes to, you know, so they actually want it, right?
Also,
And
lastly, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I didn't see you. No, sure.
Just wanted to add, when she was like, I wouldn't go through the challenge. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. I know I do this as well. I'm like, I wouldn't do that. That doesn't mean your audience wouldn't. So if you
Yeah.
personally wouldn't go through the challenge, doesn't mean that, let's say you have 1,000 followers, maybe 100 are interested in the topic, maybe 20, 30 out of those would go through the challenge, right? So we are not our own buyers necessarily. And
100%.
you rather want to test, right? Maybe they wouldn't, right? Some of them. But again, when you position things, as Stevan mentioned, well, you can even like make PDF work. I actually raised hands on 2 PDFs recently, which I'm online for 7 years. I've seen fair share of those, and long time ago they became kind of like boring.
And sorry, just to add, that both of us just recently bought Google Docs.
Yeah, that too. But like you can, like, if you can condense time for someone, this goes also for content overall, but on lead magnets as well. Because I think I mentioned this on one of the calls. One of the PDF lead magnets that I raised my hand to, hands on, was this guy, and he didn't even created it per se. He had his VA collect the list of top 25 school groups. What are they about? What is their niche? How much they're making? How much members they have? And he just put everything in the PDF, and he presented it, and he was like, who wants access? When I commented, there were already hundreds of comments of people raising hands for the PDF. So even that can be powerful. Anyways, just wanted to add that real quick.
Hey guys, by the way, I posted in the group an idea of a lead magnet that I got. Actually, it is a $7 blueprint because I got private label rights over that product, and before I made sales with it, like I sold it for $7, like back in 2020, 2021 when I was just starting. So I was curious if you could check it out, please, and give me some feedback.
Sure. And you shared it in the community?
On the group? Yeah, it's in the community.
Okay. I'm just writing down because this is why I said it would be really valuable if you ask questions. These couple of questions Leslie had, I think, is something I wouldn't think of covering in the lessons, you know, that she mentioned. So this is very important. This is why it's really important to ask those questions, whatever you might pop up in your mind. You know, maybe you feel like it's not important, or oh, they will answer that, or whatever. It's better actually if you ask, because this will give us ideas, and you will get better feedback from us then, you know. Like I would never assume that that like Leslie just said, that she wouldn't like buy a challenge, for example, because I would, right? And to Mio's point, which is very good, like, you know, you don't necessarily buy the same way like your audience does. And obviously it depends also, again, what problem is it solving, like how is it going to help you, right? What outcome is going to get you, or it's going to save you time, or and so on. So that plays a big role too. Any other questions then in terms of this?
Yes. You mentioned email. So from the program I come from, we had lead magnets provided by
Okay.
that program. So the whole thing was based on you putting paid ads or YouTube videos or something, and then you promote. There will be a free training video, so people would subscribe, give you an email address, which then was connected to an autoresponder. And as soon as they subscribe, you get, a welcome, thank you for subscribing, blah, blah, blah. And then they get access to the first training video. And I think it was 3 videos, maybe each half an hour or something, explaining what the whole program is about. And they would get access to the second video the day after, and so on. And in between, it would trigger another email for thank you for watching the first video. Hope you found it useful, and so on and so on. And then after the third video, if they wouldn't buy into it, they would get more emails for the next few weeks.
In years to come.
Every other day or so, just a reminder, and did you like it or not, and so on and so on. But obviously that was all a kind of a technical setup, because you needed this autoresponder. You had to prepare your emails beforehand with automation, that they put the right name in and all these things. So is that what you mean when you say email here?
Well, it really depends. You do want to have, again, depends what's the lead magnet, where you're at. Like, do you have all that set up? Do you need it? If you're making your first lead magnet, right, you don't need all that tech. But if you are there, what you're saying, like what I was saying for this particular one, is it would trigger like a welcome sequence. So you would get a couple of welcome emails telling you what's going to be, warming you up for the challenge to make sure you understand the value you're going to get or what's going to be covered. So you show up. So increasing like the perceived value of, being live there rather than waiting for a replay. Then you would get reminders with then a workbook, for example. Again, that's increasing perceived value, right? And it kind of like a dopamine hit. You are getting something to do, the workbook, so you will have that ready for the actual live. And then a link, obviously, to remind you what to use to join, when it starts, etc., etc. And then you would be getting like a recap after each day, selling you on what you missed or why you want to watch the replay if you haven't been on the live. And once that is over, then same like there, you would have some kind of follow-up sequence, right? To first, you would have to get back people who didn't watch to watch the replays, and those who did to go back and check the offer you had, invite, whatever it was, right? That's like the most basic, simplest way to do it. It doesn't have to be very complicated. It's like one part of the system, like the system we were initially talking about. And this is why we had this epiphany when it comes to lead magnets. Lead magnets like the center of it all, right? It's literally like if this is a solar system, like lead magnet is the center, whatever that might be. And
Okay.
obviously not one. You can change, have different ones, promoting the same offer, but using different angles with those different lead magnets. But the basic idea is you are, like you told me, you would prefer to build an audience, right, long term, than to just, pitch every day and then, okay, make a sale here and there or whatever. So to do that, this is one of the also most effective, it's the most effective way. That's why, for example, when like Hormozi publishes books, or Gary Vee or whomever, that's their lead magnet, right? The books, they have humongous audiences, right? So they do books. And even the book launch, the way they do, like maybe you've seen Hormozi's, he had like 500,000 people on the line, right? And he was giving stuff and whatever, that's a lead magnet, right? The whole thing was a lead magnet. So, and how many goodies he gave for free and whatever. So that's the idea, right? And he built a huge audience on the back of that. So then it's easier to promote whatever you're going to promote once you have warm audience like that. But instead of doing that, like in the beginning, I would do all that one-to-one. You know, I would post content and then I would talk to people and then I would jump on calls and I would send them video DMs and whatever. So that was all one-to-one. Educating them on whatever problem they have, reframing them on what's the actual problem solution, like my offer vehicle and so on. So instead of doing all that manually like that, and obviously having to pitch nonstop in your content, like you're giving them something for free or low ticket, right? You can sell lead magnet if it's valuable enough. Like my first workshop I ever did, I actually bundled 5 of my lead magnets that were doing well and sold them as a workshop. That was the first thing I ever sold on my own. But they were lead magnets. I just sold 5 lead magnets.
Okay.
Because those 5 were really good. People really wanted them. Like people will follow up with me to give them. And that's what you create demand for it, which we will cover as well. Obviously, if it's well positioned, the name and all that, and then also to know how to create excitement around it and anticipation and, you know, basically create demand before you even drop it. Because even if it's really good, you don't just want to come out and say, here's, I have this free thing, right? Or I have this thing, whatever, I'll give you for free, you know.
Yeah.
There is process we want to do before that to get them ready, to get them excited about it, so they actually want it, right?
Okay.
The reason why they do when they did, like, for example, iPhone launches, there were people sleeping night before around the store, right? Building the anticipation and
Okay.
any other question? So this way, once you have one in place, and once you have a, I like what Mio said about it, because people say when you have a winning ad, you just like pour more money into it, just pour gas, right? You're like, it's getting your return. Let's say you're putting $1 in, you're making 5 back from the ad. Well, just keep pouring money, right? When you have a winning lead magnet works like that as well. You don't have to put any money into it, right? For us, at least, doing organic. And we both have lead magnets that, for example, once you have a really good one, you put effort, obviously, up front, creating it, researching the problem, preparing all of that, creating and so on. Like it can work for years, one single lead magnet. And we also had lead magnets that brought like multiple 5 figures. Basically, to me, one, I have that I got the first like award from Kajabi, the 100K award, the pin, like literally everyone went through that lead magnet who purchased the program or the program plus coaching, whatever the option was. One single
What's the lead
magnet.
magnet, Stefan?
Sorry, what?
What was the lead magnet?
It was training, long form video training.
Long form training.
Yeah.
Makes me shake in my boots having to do something like that.
Well, you don't have to start with that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't.
No, absolutely.
I did like first, I don't know how long, but I did like Google Docs, PDFs. The first one was a Google Doc. I remember that. Later, I would do also PDFs. I was trying kind of like to automate more, even to invite people into my group, for example. So what I would do, I would use a PDF. I would make it like real nice in Canva when I was trying to get a bit more fancy. First one was just outlined in a Google Doc. And I was trying to make it a little bit more on brand, colors, whatever, the logo, like my group. And then I would add links. So by the time you finish the lead magnet, like you can click and it takes you directly to my group, you know. I also had one for one launch I was participating, promoting as an affiliate, that would take them to that offer for the launch. So, and then the cool part about links is that you can change the destination. So if the lead magnet's good and works, like that PDF, I don't have to create from scratch, right? I go back and I just change obviously needs to be congruent with whatever I want them to do, right? Maybe I need to change slide or something, but I can just change if I want to destination of the links, and keep the same one. And same is even for the obviously video trainings, because usually at the end when there's like invitation, the actual offer after they complete the training, I would, if I'm doing some kind of promo, like it's my birthday or something, some milestone or launch or whatever, I would just put a different offer, like re-record that, create another one, but the training stays the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mio would obviously do the same. He's been doing that even before I started on Facebook. So gives you also flexibility if you have a good one, like if it's serving to promote an offer or get people into your community, or it's in your group taking people to an offer or to, depending like what's the process, what do you want them to do next? Like it's so much easier to change few things, tweak it, and have them go to a different place if the lead mag is good enough and congruent with that offer or the next step and so on, right? So that work you do up front, if you put a lot of effort in it, it's really good. You don't have to, do it all over again. Of course you can if you want to, right? Create another one or improve that one. But I'm just saying it's so easy to tweak also what you
Yes.
use it for, So you don't have to start with video training. And even if you do, my first one was like maybe 10, 15 minutes long. First video lead magnet I created, and it was like a Loom video. I just used Loom, open whiteboard or whatever, the Google Doc, I think it was whiteboard, I like drawing. And I just did the whole thing, the training like that in like 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
So I hope you're not that scared anymore.
No. But I wouldn't want to do a 3 hour with 300 people on a webinar.
No, of course. Don't worry about it. It's gonna take a journey anyhow, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I wish they would just show up now and we can do that, but it takes also time and effort to build that audience, to invite those people, to get them to come, all that. So you don't have to worry about that. That's the hard part, So you will have plenty of options to test it. Most people, I mean, when you post something, most people don't see it anyhow. Even the people that are in your audience, people who are your friends or they follow you, most of them don't see that, So you can test it, get initial feedback, before going full out and constantly, putting it out there and so on. So yeah. And you can also get feedback then from those people. That's what I would do. I would ask them for feedback, You can be honest and tell them that you're sharing information in this way for the first time. This is your first time creating something like this. You really want to provide value. You want to make the next one better. So like, if they can give you some feedback, like that's really cool way to approach it,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
The question that I dropped in the it's
Okay.
about lead magnets, like the lead magnet that I got.
Okay.
I dropped the link to it's a PDF.
Here, I'll share it. Oh wow, this is 75 pages. I just opened. I don't know if we
Yeah.
have time to go through the whole thing.
Oh no, but it's quite fast. It's like 75 pages because it has a lot of graphics, but it's really
Okay.
readable.
Okay, let me. So
In a
let me.
way, this is a proven concept because I already solved it before
Okay.
for $7. Like people pay money for that. Now I'm planning on giving it for free.
Okay.
So I
And
need some adjustments because it's old. It's like literally the first product I ever sold.
okay, okay. And well, congrats on that.
Thanks.
No, really, I mean, that's awesome. So when did you sell the first one? Was that recently or
2020?
2020?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So when you sold that, yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is this blueprint, as I said for that, there it's let's say master reselling rights product. So I got everything, and I was able to brand it and customize it. So the very first time that I sold it back in 2020, I had I think I didn't even have a landing page. I was giving away free content calendar. Like back in the day in 2020, giving content calendars was a thing. Like it actually worked, like people wanted those. So I gave away the content calendar, and then inside the content. So in this case, the lead magnet was the content calendar, and inside the content calendar, I had a link to the sales page for this blueprint. And I was offering the content calendar in groups and on my profile, and then sales just start rolling from there.
Okay, awesome. So
And
you
back
had,
then it was $7, that blueprint.
okay, so you sold the blueprint for $7 on your own,
Yeah.
and then what was the next step? Like the upsell or the,
There was an upsell for Done For You program on funnels, but I didn't move forward with it. Like I didn't keep on promoting. That's actually when I met Mio, because I didn't believe on the program much.
okay,
Because it was mostly focused on automation and sales funnels. And honestly, if you're a beginner, I was a beginner back then, sales funnels is not the way to go when you're starting out. Like just having a nice funnel, it doesn't mean you're going to make sales, but I learned that the hard way. But then it didn't feel ethical for me to promote that as my main offer. However, this blueprint, I think it's really good for beginners, and it kind of aligns with the other high ticket program that I'm promoting now, that is more beginners oriented. Well, I explain it all there.
I want to change my messaging for beginners so I can promote better the other program I mentioned before. Okay. So now you want to do it, give it for free or like charge $1 for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like, I'm not looking to sell it anymore.
Okay.
Because I feel that things have changed in the market, and now this kind of info, people can get it like for free. Though for some it's not so obvious. So what I did was condensate it all together.
Okay.
Oh, what this does, I mean, it's like all the info is like, this is good for someone that is like really starting out into organic marketing, organic Facebook.
So is this for affiliates or?
Yeah. It can be customized for affiliates, coaches, whatever.
But the offer, you want to promote the high ticket offer that they consume this, then you want them to buy the high ticket offer. Is that high ticket offer affiliate program?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because here it says if you're reading this, chances you're a business one.
I know it's old. So I as I say on the text, I need to update it. But I just want you to check like the structure. I need to update some dates and the avatar and all of that.
Okay. I mean, the branding looks, the whole thing looks really beautiful. I really like that. It's very easy to follow. When I saw it here down 75 pages, when I opened the first one, I thought, oh, wow. But it's actually pretty.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, it's very readable.
Yeah.
And actually, it has really good information.
Okay. But
that I consider is valuable.
Okay, but is it the information for affiliates starting on Facebook? You want to sell them on using Facebook, like those high ticket affiliates?
On using organic marketing.
So you change okay.
This blueprint teach people how to do organic marketing pretty much.
But it says business owners.
I know it says business owners because it's an old version. I need to update it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking. So you would update for affiliates.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
For affiliates.
I think it's great, especially that you already have this. So the process is lead magnet, persuasive call to action, optimize your Facebook profile, simplify. Maybe I would change this a little bit. 5 money making.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but I'm not sure about what switch I need to do.
But you could do maybe 3 or 5 steps max, because you basically want them to use Facebook, right? Not to use emails or create lead magnets or any of that, right?
Yeah, I was thinking actually about deleting those steps, the landing page and the email thing, like the 4 and 5, and then just keep.
And number 1 and 2, you don't necessarily need. You would start with optimize your profile. That's most logical step. First, do that. Like step 1, optimize your profile. What's the benefit? Optimize your profile so you start generating leads.
Oh, but
organically, let's say.
Yeah, you don't need a lead magnet. Okay, yeah.
I mean, they would give them in the high ticket program, right?
They will.
So
Yes.
yeah, they will get it there. These business owners would make for their own niche, their own lead magnet, I assume. That's why
Yes,
this guy.
but in this case, the affiliates probably will get the lead magnet. Probably not. They will get the lead magnet from the. So you say to eliminate a step, the lead magnet.
Yeah, I would stay, but it's most logical. If someone's starting on Facebook, what's step 1? Step 1, you optimize your profile for success, let's say, or optimize your profile for, to start generating leads or something like that, where you also communicate the benefit, not just this. This is like, it's just like features, what you're gonna follow, what we tell you to do. You want to tell them also what's the benefit. So optimize your profile, step 1, and then, okay, engage, step 2, obviously not on social media, on your ideal customer, your ideal avatar profiles or something like that. And then like Messenger, whatever they teach there. So this is also very important. You can position those steps any way you want. I mean, the angles you're going to use. But it's very important that you go to that high ticket program and see what they say about those steps. So that whoever is consuming this, when they click and go and watch a webinar or a video or whatever way they pitch the program, or just a sales page, whatever it is, that it's congruent. That's very important if you want them to take the next step.
Yeah.
So you would check what they say, but I would say optimize your profile, step 1, step 2, like connect with people, or post content, step 3, connect, like talk to people, like
literally that's what it says down the road, because engage on social media, I explain, like when the blueprint explains later how to find groups, how to find your customer, yada, and then connect with them, like be social.
Okay. Yeah.
Now
Because
that
this
I'm
is
looking
unnecessary.
at it, that you're telling me to delete this first step, all of those slides could be another lead magnet itself, no?
Absolutely.
Because like if you check some of the slides, it specifies whatever how how to create lead magnets and like have your perfect hook and all of that.
Okay. You could use it, yeah, absolutely.
Like that itself could be a separate lead magnet.
Because you see here, they're basically teaching them to put the link in the bio, stuff like that.
Exactly.
So you wouldn't tell them
and
that.
they're like headline formulas and all of this stuff.
And it's also, this is way too ahead if someone's starting on Facebook. No need to tell them these things. Choose your emoji. Choose your emoji. That's
that's random.
Can I make a quick comment?
Yeah, sure, man.
These blueprint things are popping up on Facebook quite a bit recently, I found. But they're all just promoting, 3 steps blueprint or 4 steps. So I think if you come up with even 5 or 7 steps, why should I do 7 steps if I can do it in 3 steps?
But that's
I
assuming
think
that
that's a
they
question you
also
the customer may have. You know, well, why should I do 7 steps if I can somebody else offers me 3 steps, which would be
Yeah, that's
probably
why you're
faster.
saying about reducing it, no?
Mm, it depends. No, that really depends. I mean, you cannot just say like there's no context to that, right? Like Hormozy says, I don't know, 12 steps or whatever in $100 million leads book. Anyone can put whatever they want on Facebook and say in 2 or 3, I'm going to listen to Hormozy over them if it's the same subject, right? So you need context to that as well. Who is it saying? What's the social proof? You know, what outcome they promise? What's the process method and so on? So that also plays a role. So the thing with looking what you see in the market and what others do and basing your decisions on that is not always the best approach. As a research, how you can position yourself, yes, but never assuming that somehow market's saturated because a lot of people are putting out blueprints or whatever. Most people don't see that. Like you saw that, but most people don't see that. Her avatar, who is a beginner, doesn't see that. I doubt, you know. So that also plays a big role. I mean, internet's huge, Facebook's huge, right? Like most people don't see any of that. So that I mean shouldn't bother you at all, unless your ideal avatar is promoting blueprints. Here's when you want to do that. If you want to do research, let's say your avatar is being told to do a blueprint, like here, to do a lead magnet, and let's say lead magnet is a blueprint, and they tell you 3 or 5 or 7, doesn't matter, steps, right? And I'm saying that you shouldn't do blueprints, that you should do something else, right? Let's say I say do calls or do 5-day challenges instead of no one's, right? Then I could throw rocks at that strategy. And I could say no one's consuming these things anymore. You know, like everyone is flashing blueprints and stuff. No one's consuming that. Takes them 2 minutes to read. They're not interested. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to click on your link, whatever, right? What you should do, what I found the best, here's I made this much money, signed these many clients with it. Here's how it worked for others, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's say, do a live challenge. You see what I mean? So if you're gonna like look at the market, you want to do a research how you can position your thing against whatever's prevailing belief in the market. But it shouldn't stop you from whatever you want to do because, you know, maybe, and there's also what's called frequency bias. Like if I now go, let's say Leslie made a sale now, and I go and I post in, she posts in school group like a win, and I go and reshare that on my story, and she posts on her profile, and I post in my group among other things. Let's say I say, and Leslie had this cool win. Like Chris, you might see that, and you might feel she made 50 sales. You know, we all have that. So in marketing, that's very effective to use what people, you know, frequency bias. And there's another thing that stops people from doing things, and that's called spotlight bias, where you feel like everyone is seeing you and everyone is seeing your content, what you do. But it's actually opposite. No one is seeing it. You know, I would always like go after that rule. No one has seen that. This, it's better to do that than to assume so many people have seen it. You know, most people haven't. You know, most people are not here. Most people are in China. Just joking. Bad joke. Um, so I think it's a really nice layout. It's very clear to read. It's a beautiful design. I think it's really cool from that part. And then you can make it congruent with the offer you promote, obviously, and also to change these.
Yeah,
You know, I knew it's Blake Newbar when I saw the beginning. I wanted to say and I
yes.
forgot, and now I see Blake Newbar. I know it's him. So yeah, you want to put here your profile, you know, and that's how you increase authority, obviously, and so on, right?
Yes, I have all the mock-ups and everything. I just need, as
Awesome.
I say, update it all.
Awesome. Okay.
And
yeah,
then there are some things that are out of date. For example, like the feature image, like Facebook doesn't have that anymore.
okay,
But here it's when it jumps into the strategy and explains to people how to do it.
yeah, yeah. He has some funny like names. You see how he names certain stuff like the mechanisms, but to me it's a little bit funny. Like find your watering hole, like
Yeah.
him meaning find the groups, and then like laser beam, like flashlight laser beam, like how to pinpoint find the groups. To go opportunity. I mean, it's a really cool layout. You can definitely use it. Just obviously to change it, you know, to speak to your avatar and it's
Yeah, and
congruent
on
with
this
the
part
offer
at
you
the end,
have.
where it says like hire a virtual assistant as well, like that's unnecessary for a beginner. Like you don't need a
Yeah,
virtual
of course.
assistant when you're starting out.
Unless they're really lazy.
Yeah, but even though I think if you don't know how it works, what are you gonna tell your virtual assistant to do, and how do you know they're doing it right? Like
Tell them to go and consume the content, and
the content,
attend the
yeah.
training, learn how to do it, and do it for me. What's this here? So what would be the next step in your case? Like once they come here, what would be the link? Where would it take them? Is it a training? Is it a sales page? Is it a web? Like,
So actually, this link is right. That's a training. Yes, it's a webinar from the program.
okay, so it would take them there.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Do you
Yes.
by any chance? Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. Do you by any chance collect emails, or you take them directly there?
I am collecting emails. Like I have a landing page for people to join my group. So if when I promote this blueprint, I'm gonna deliver it inside my group. So by the
okay.
time they are reading this blueprint, they're already in my
Okay.
group.
Awesome. So you can
That's
actually
why that
use
link
it.
is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you can actually use it to invite people to your group.
Yes, it would be a way to because for now on, since we guys were talking, the next step for me to get back to my business is revive my group, right? So now all my call to actions and everything is pointing people to my group.
Okay, that's great.
I'm gonna deliver all the lead magnets, all the trainings, everything inside my group.
Okay. Well, it's much easier. I would definitely, if I was you, I would definitely use it to fill the group with this. You know, you will give them, you will deliver inside the group, so you can promote on your profile and invite people to join.
And what
You
do
know.
you recommend? Giving it for free or $1?
Well, if you're gonna invite people to the group, I would do free.
Yes, I was thinking giving it for free. Like as I say, I sold it before for $7, but it was like 4 years ago when this info was kind of wow. Now it's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
like just easier for them to have it all together.
Yeah, yeah. And you could include a little bit also there in that PDF, a bit of your story, like your Epiphany Bridge story for the Facebook Organic.
Yeah. That's on the top. Actually, I think it's like the
Okay.
second, third slide.
Perfect. That's I think that's a great. Well, when you edit it and you have it like ready for this new, or as you're working on it, share it again. Let us know, and then let's check once it's.
And I was also thinking about like at the end, on the last page, maybe adding testimonials. Because
Okay.
I have like a bunch of testimonials, like screenshots and stuff. Just what you were, I was watching this afternoon your training on DMs that you were saying like to share results proof, like social proof, whatever. To I don't remember the phrase that you used, but
Okay.
so you push people to take action. So like when they see your results.
Absolutely. So the reason I think this is a great idea is because you can post content. So let's say it's a written post, whatever it is, and then you can invite them obviously directly in the content. But it's always so easy to just share, invite them, but also instead of saying, let's say, drop hashtag me or do this or whatever, to share the link for your group in the comments.
Okay.
Like I've been doing this for the past like 5 months. I have people nonstop joining my group almost from every single post. Some posts do better, and then I have like 20 people join from one post. So I
And
don't.
what do you have, like, you just put a comment, you don't use this tags like everyone or highlight or whatever on the comment, or
On my profile, I never actually use that.
okay, so
because
and the comment, what do you write? Like an invitation, like a reason for them to
Yeah.
go check the group?
Yeah, and I try to make it congruent with the content. So whatever I was saying in the content, I can say if you want to get training or that, or get a in-depth this or whatever, you can join my group. And then if you have a lead magnet, you can add. I'm also, let's say, hosting a giveaway or doing a giveaway this month or something like that. There's some urgency and so on. Like, and you can get it for free right now if you join my group. And then you
Okay.
put a link for the group. I even sometimes put an ad also, like heads up or important, like you gotta answer the questions. If you don't answer the question, you'll be automatically rejected.
About
And
those
then,
questions, when are you guys sharing the questions?
well, we won't share specific. I mean, we'll show you specific questions as examples, but it really depends on what you promote, what's the group exactly about, and so on, who you are, and so on. So it can be different because I would change. I don't have the same questions always. I'm changing
Okay.
them. But we'll explain the strategy behind it and why and what you want to ask, right? What you want to get.
Because one of the reasons why I'm not inviting people to my group yet is because I want to update this questions part,
Okay.
but I'm not sure what I should be asking. Because clearly I'm not going to be asking for an email since I already got their email.
Yeah. So they click the link, they go, they request to join the group. So here they answer the questions and they basically a bit qualify themselves, which opens the door for you to send them a DM with a screenshot of their answer, for example. That would take you a bit more work, but I was doing that like a lot to,
Yeah,
build
no, I
momentum.
always send a screenshot.
Oh, okay,
Also, when
perfect.
people comment on my call to actions, I always send them a screenshot and a
Perfect.
screenshot of their comment too.
So then you would also tag them on the lead magnet, like this guide in the group. You go tag them there, which opens the door for you to reach out again if you need to later if the conversation stop to see if they saw the tag, they got the thing. They put, when they answer the questions, they put the email so that it triggers the welcome sequence or, also emails you're sending if you're sending and so on. So this way you got them into, your system, and then this lead magnet opens the door for further conversations, obviously,
Okay.
and they will get then they get educated on Facebook organic. You shift their perspective about whatever they're doing right now to why Facebook would be better. So instead of you doing that by, manually with each person in DMs or jumping on calls or anything like that, this is why lead magnet is so powerful. Like it will do it for you. By the time they finish reading, they know your story, your epiphany, bridge story. There's way more KLT, obviously. If it's a good guide, blueprint, there's some goodwill. They trust you more. Authority, they join your group. You ask them for email, this and that. You gave them this training, tag them, that increases your authority. All the good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that this was good, because I don't want to give like as Leslie say, that like a crappy PDF that then people are gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. Try to make it a good guide for someone starting out based on the program. What are the steps? Try to make it a good guide and then share with us. We'll give you feedback on it.
Okay, cool.
You can make it a really good PDF, it is possible. So even if you see a lot of like, fluffy ones, it's possible to do, like Sam Evans sold a course in Google Doc for $10,000. I know a person who bought it. $10,000. The
For a
whole
Google Doc.
course, the whole course was a Google Doc with links to Loom videos and little like text lessons. So he would record the Loom video and it would say lesson 1 or whatever. There's some text about it and there's a link to watch the Loom video. Like he didn't even put effort or time or whatever to even host it somewhere. And it was $10,000 and he sold 100. It was limited spots. And it was sold out. I know a guy who bought it. So it's about value. It's what he was sharing. They know why the guy that bought it, 7-figure earner. I mean, it wasn't, it's not for a beginner, nor he was targeting beginners. It was for people who already have a, business ongoing and, doing well and so on. And it was more about scaling and some other stuff. But just the point how he can Google Doc, right? $10,000. I'm sure when I said the figure, all of you thought like, what? Right? But, for some people, there's more value in that Google Doc than some 10-hour training,
Yeah.
right? So it's really about what you provide, what's inside. And that's going to determine how many of them will actually convert. And we can talk about then, you do these edits and we'll talk about then also naming, positioning it, at what content to put out, etc.
Awesome. Thank
Awesome,
you.
folks. Welcome. So I have another call, so I'll have to finish. We've been an hour on anyhow, to wrap up slowly. Do you have any now questions, by the way? Any quick questions? No?
No, I'm good,
okay.
thank you.
So I will upload it to the replay thread in the community. If any questions pop up in the meantime, based on what we've been talking, just drop it there in the comments. And obviously we'll answer it. The more questions, the better, and the better feedback you guys get to guides and so on. Yeah. So awesome. Good to see you all. Hope you enjoyed it. And see you on the next one.
Great.
See you
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And have a great weekend. We are
You
almost
too.
done.